Well, it's the last round of the 2025 Adelaide Footy League Division 1 season, and while Broadview's destiny is already written with relegation, today is their final shot at salvaging pride and avoiding a winless season. Standing in their way are St Peter's Old Collegians, who have everything to play for. A win guarantees the Saints a top 3 finish in the safety net of a double chance in finals, but a loss could see them tumble as low as 4th or 5th and into sudden death territory. On paper, St Peter's should account for the struggling Tigers, but footy has a way of producing upsets and stranger things have happened. For St Peter's, it's about fine-tuning and building momentum for September, while for Broadview, it's about simply walking away with something to show from a tough year. Hello everybody, welcome to round 18, the final round of the Adelaide Footy League. My name is Peter Eugenis. We're here live at Caterer Oval for St Peter's Old Collegians versus the Broadview Tigers. Broadview haven't won a game all season. This is their final opportunity to do so. They unfortunately will be relegated. The Tigers will be relegated, but St Peter's still in that top 5, looking for that double chance, sitting in 3rd at the moment. And we're underway here at Caterer Oval. In the ruck, it is Henry Stewart-Rattray for St Peter's and PJ Carlin for the Tigers. Broadview won the toss, elected to go to the left of screen, and straight away we'll have a ball up just on the 50 for the Tigers. Stolen out the ruck by Stewart-Rattray, gets a clearance towards the middle of the ground. Players fumbling as they try to retain possession of the footy. Good hands, quick to go to Charlie Allen. Allen clears the football and finds a teammate in Ty Bedford. Bedford, little one over the top, tries to go inside 50. O'Leary, good courage, going back with the fly, and he wins himself a free kick as well. The skipper played well this season, and the best players 8 times. Good kick in the middle to find the ruckman, PJ Carlin. Delivers a handball off, now inside 50, all on his own is Caleb Jones. Jones wants to go across goal, try and find the teammate. Ooh, couldn't quite find Jackson Hames, but he's given away a free kick, Jackson Hames. So he'll be going back to St Peter's. It's coming through Edward Allen, the skipper. A little short one to find Malachi Carruthers. Goes short again. Ben Belperio with the football now. Goes towards the outer side, found a teammate on the chest. They can go quickly here. Spock, handball goes to Stewart-Rattray. Has a bounce, lines up for goals. Has it got the distance? I think it might just fall short in the square. And is punched over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in. Close to the club rooms of St Peter's. Wonderful day for football. Just a little bit of a breeze, not too much, and the sun is out. Wonderful for the last round of the season. Ball in play now. No one could win the right tap as the ball fell to the floor. Broadview try and get a handball away, but it goes straight back to Spock. And there'll be another stoppage and another ball up. Both teams getting early inside 50 entries. Ball didn't find the ruckman again, and we'll have another stoppage in the exact same spot it was before. This time stolen at the ruck by St Peter's, was tackled, wasn't ruled, holding the ball. Now the ball spills free again, and this time it is holding the ball. And the free kick is going the way to St Peter's. And for the first goal of the game, for the opportunity, we'll go to Charlie Allen. Allen now for the first goal of the game. A little strut in his run up, but it looks okay, but it's faded to the left. And first score of the day going to St Peter's Old Collegians. It's 1 behind for them. Broadview see how they move the ball from full back, 2v1, and eventually the 2 for St Peter's, 1 with the spoil. Edward Weeks with a good spoil. It goes over the boundary line after PJ Carlin couldn't keep it in, so it'll be a boundary throw-in. Broadview would want to get it out of the danger area. It's up 1 down by Stewart-Rattray for St Peter's, but Broadview emerged with the football. O'Leary tried to find Caleb Jones. He was squashed in that contest, but no free kick. The umpire said it was fair in the middle of the ground now. Leary tried to make another impact for the football, couldn't quite get it, gets a handball away. However, he could be gone here, but it's going to be a ball up. The right now, Stuart Rattray gets it down the ground to a teammate. He's taking a tackle but got the kick away just on the edge of 50, and there's a free kick for a hold going the way of St. Peter's. So let's see if he's in range this time. This is James Higgins. Higgins for the first goal of the game. Scored a point already. Higgins, don't think he's scored actually, so the ball's coming short and hasn't made the distance, so Broadview retain possession of the football. Good kick towards the pocket. Little sidestep and a stabbing pass. Tried to find Jackson Hames. Hames with the handball away. Good ball movement by Broadview on the middle of the ground. Comes off hands. They're still fighting for that football. Couldn't quite hold on to it though. Was Callum Flanagan. Playing his first A-grade game for Broadview today is Blade Trevorrow. Congratulations to you, Blade. He's played a bit of time in the C-grade and reserves this season. Kick was smothered as it goes forward for St. Peter's Old Collegians. Trying to get a handball off, and they do to Hamish Allen. Allen beats one, lines up for the goal square, touched off hands, and they can't seem to get a mark in there at the moment. And he's tackled again. Another stoppage. There's been a few stoppages early on, especially in St. Peter's attacking 50. We know Broadview haven't won a game this season. And Yang now in the ruck for the Tigers. Won the tap, but the ball comes straight back for Spock. It's in the goal square, bouncing around. It's stolen. Are they going to shoot for goal? He's missed, I think. Very close, but it's going to be a second behind for St. Peter's Old Collegians. So Spock lead 2-0 over Broadview. Dangerous kick out, and that could cost them here. He snaps for goal, and he gets the goal as well. Well, pretty easy stuff in the end. That kick out falls straight to Jesse McKinnon. I believe it was McKinnon who got the goal. We'll write him down for now. We'll confirm a bit later on if it wasn't him. But first goal gone to St. Peter's Old Collegians. 1-8 to Broadview, still yet to score. And there was not the best of kick-outs from full-back. We just turned the ball over too easily there. Broadview want to win the next clearance. Carlin back in the ruck for the Tigers. Just got a fingertip on it, but it went to his opponent, Stuart Rattray, in the ruck, and they kick it forward to St. Peter's, and a drop mark from Broadview allows St. Peter's to go inside 50 again. Almost took the mark, couldn't quite come down with it there. For St. Peter's was Ben Belperio, I believe. And now there's going to be a free kick going the way to Broadview. I believe it's on the ball. I believe this is Jai Hart Kelly. The back line now goes towards the wing. Couldn't quite hold on to the mark. His teammate though, they keep going. Broadview, the Tigers. He finds Toby Kay. Kay's got options inside 50. He wants to find one here. The kick was a little bit short, but Perio got the spoil. It's touched over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in. If you're just joining us, Broadview got the first inside 50th, and it's been repeated inside 50 inches for St. Peter's, as it shows on the scoreboard. A few missed chances they could have gotten. Go out in the falls, out of bounds. Carlin just got the tap. Wonderful work to get it to a teammate. Got a clearing kick inside 50. It was a dribble along the ground. Broadview need to apply the pressure. Just got the kick away. There was Edward Allen, the skipper for Spock. He has a second opportunity at it. Can't quite get clean possession of the football. And there's a holding free kick going the way of St. Peter's. The umpire must have seen something. And they're going to get the ball back here, St. Peter's Old Collegians. Can take his time if he wants. He just needs to get it on when the umpire calls him to, and he has now. A wonderful vision, great kick. Unfortunately, couldn't quite take the mark. There was his teammate. Bumped as he snapped around the corner. St. Peter's can still go around the outer side. Also trickling close to the boundary line. Got a handball away. They can keep moving here, St. Peter's Old Collisions. One over the top. Finds a teammate. They can keep running here. Spock and inside 50 almost took the mark. Couldn't quite. Good defensive pressure from Broadview. The ball's still in pursuit though. St. Peter's Old Collisions still battling to try and get a goal. Handball goes off to James Higgins. Higgins shoots, but he misses to the left-hand side, and it's the third behind for St. Peter's Old Collisions. 1 goal, 3-9 to Broadview, yet to score. They try the same kick-out tactic from full-back Broadview, and this time it works. Last time it coughed them up a goal. A short one. Broadview, move it towards the middle. St. Peter's with the football now. Here's Ty Bedford. Bedford got a handball to the middle of the ground. St. Peter's can keep going. Ball inside 50, then into space before it's picked up by the Broadview defender. Is he wrapped, holding the ball? Umpire says, I'll have it. Big opportunity for St. Peter's to score here. Snap around the body. And it goes through. Just try and see who that was. It's a bit difficult to tell from the angle I'm on at the moment, so apologies. But St. Peter's Old Collisions with their second goal and a fast start for them. 2-3-15 to Broadview, yet to score. I'll confirm the goal kickers for you at the start of the second quarter, once we confirm them at quarter time. Broadview just getting into their positions, so 6-6-6. Tap one by PJ Carlin, but at the middle was too strong by Bedford. St. Peter's can still move the ball. They can go inside 50 again if they want. It's a bit easy to get around him there. Kai McCarthy, back up ruck today for St. Peter's Old Collisions. You'd assume Stuart Rattray's doing most of the rucking. Here comes Bedford again. He's been all over the football early. Got it to a teammate and he's wrapped up. So it'll be another ball up. Top one by Stuart Rattray against Child. Child delivers a fierce tackle on his opponent. It'll be a ball up. 12 minutes just about played here in this first quarter. It's been all St. Peter's after Broadview's first inside 50 entry. The kick goes to the pocket from Samuel Higgins. The ball's still in play. Is that gone through? No, it's gone across the face of the goal. We heard a few shouts from the St. Peter's faithful up in the grandstand there. They might have thought it might have posed a threat to goal, but the ball was nowhere near it in the end. A bit of a convincing angle from where you look at it, depending on where you do. Kick out for Broadview now. Almost took them up, but couldn't quite take it. I think that was Ben Manning with the football now. Ben Belperio got a kick away eventually after being tackled to a teammate. St. Peter's using the ball really well at the moment. This is with Benjamin in yellow. And he's looking to go the shot here. I'm not sure if he has the distance, but we'll see how he goes, if he can prove me wrong. Looks like it's on just the paint of 50 from here. Actually, he probably does have the distance. It's a little bit closer than what I thought it was. Anyway, Benjamin in yellow for their third goal. I tell you what, it did make the distance in the end, but didn't quite have the accuracy. 2-4-16, and Broadview still yet to score again. Broadview really struggling to get it past the halfway point. This time, little kick out to the pocket. Broadview tried to go down the other side, and Young's there. Was he held? But I didn't say nothing as the ball trickles over the boundary line. I believe that would be last touch possession, unless someone did get a hand on it. I think they might have here, because they're setting up for the boundary throw-in. And Young in the ruck. for the Tigers. Tackles one down, however, by Spock. Bit of stoppage in the middle would be another ball up on that wing. Tap down, snap away from Ty Bedford. Tap, tried to go over the head there, the St. Peter's midfielder, but couldn't quite. You can see what he's trying to do. Broadview can't get it past the middle at this stage. Just running through everyone just about was Malachi Carruthers, but he was taken by O'Leary, and O'Leary tried to go to a teammate down the line, but couldn't quite. That's holding the ball as well. A good tackle laid. Broadview can send it back inside 50 again. Is Matthew Beard. It's a high one, but it's gone straight to the opposition. Not like him. Nick McGill goes to David Grant. On the other side this time, Grant with a beautiful kick, just almost found Samuel Higgins. Was he held early? I didn't say anything. Beard gets the ball to a teammate. Now they can keep moving here. Broadview before they stop. Beard picks it up again. He's had a few good last 2 minutes, but handball comes away from Charlie Allen from Spock, and there'll be another ball up. Well, it was good ball movement from Broadview. They just couldn't get it inside 50. And Yang was facing the wrong way before he turned around and got the tap away. Good body work. By Kobe Wilson, but unfortunately couldn't quite get the handball or kick away. Tried to kick it inside 50 here. Drop mark from the Broadview defender. Might have been Jackson Hames. Couldn't quite tell from there. It comes to Benjamin in yellow. And another ping at goal. And this time another behind. So they've been accurate early. Spot 2-5-17. Broadview from kick out. This time finds a man. Good option. Tried to go further down the line, but St. Peter's cut him off yet again. To the middle of the ground now. Finds Hamish Allen. Allen one over the top. St. Peter's, he take a step. The umpire called him to play on, so inside 50 now. Great vision. Oh, he couldn't quite hold on to the mark though. We're disappointed with that, Johnny Reid. He had a good game last week. Kicked 4 goals against Sacred Heart Old Collegians. There's been I think there's a high contact free kick going the way of Broadview. So they'll get the possession of the football back in their back line. Good kick towards the wing. They're telling him to go down the middle though. They go down the line, couldn't quite get a hand onto it. The Broadview forward, he's running through. Yeah. And Broadview inside 50 again. 2v1, good effort though from Hamish Ralph. Picked up by Matthew Beard, snap around the body. Doesn't quite get the distance at all. An easy uncontested mark taken by Weeks. Beard's had a few good plays. Saw the kick. Didn't quite hit the teammate. It comes to Kobe Wilson. Wilson, wonderful vision. It was a drop mark by Nick McGill, but Wilson didn't want to be just was a bit unselfish. Didn't want to be selfish and go for goal. Found the teammate in Jackson Hames. Wonderful kick there by Kobe Wilson to go backwards in your forward line and finds a teammate. So good option in the end. Unselfish. But now it's up to Jackson Hames. After it's been a difficult start to the quarter for Broadview. Had 7 scoring shots against them, only 2 goals. This for their first goal of the afternoon. Makes the goal umpire work, but he's hit the post in the end. Jackson Hames, almost an opportunity there to score their first, but they've got a score on the board. Just behind at the moment. St. Peter's 2 goals, 5-17 to Broadview. 0 goals, 1-1. But they're showing signs of life here at the moment, Broadview. They're not out of the contest. It's only 3 goals at the moment. And they've played well in these last few minutes, I'll tell you what. They need to keep it up, though, especially for the next 3 quarters after this. St. Peter's still with the football, though. They've been such a strong side all year. They had 5 wins in a row at one stage. Lost by 10 points last week to Shock. Tom Rundle with the football now. Couldn't quite take it, was Charlie Allen. Started really well here. Kobe Wilson. Here come the Tigers through the middle of the ground. And all on his own inside 50. They can keep going here. Broadview shoots for goal. And not his best effort. I think that was Jacob Relata. But Broadview starting to get some scoreboard pressure on. Yes, they're not majors, but at least they're getting scores on the board. That's their second behind of the afternoon. 2-5-17 to 0 goals 2-2. Edward Weeks finds a teammate. Weeks. They go down the line here, St. Peter's on collisions, but Broadview trying to steal the football back. They've been playing well these last, I know I've said it before, they've been playing well though, Broadview. These last few minutes. Very difficult season for the Tigers. Winless all year. And playing a strong St. Peter's side who sit in third. Breathing down the necks of the other teams for the finals. The kick was smothered. Wonderful effort there, and they can keep going here, Broadview. One over the top, and he finds Hamish Ralph. Ralph inside 50, all on his own. It was Angus Ralph. Might be brothers, those two. And Angus Ralph has the opportunity for Broadview to kick their first. This one's a little bit more gettable than the other two opportunities from Hames and Relata. Angus Ralph for the Tigers' first goal, and a much needed one at that. Time on now into the first quarter. And he's missed as well. So 3 behinds for Broadview. They've had their chances, but unfortunately they've missed all 3 of them. And the kicking accuracy for Broadview has left them down so far. So for St. Peter's as well, but when you're trailing on the scoreboard, it's a bit more valuable. Broadview are trying to lock him in here, and they're doing a pretty good job at the moment. Eventually the umpire says to play on, has a bounce. Kicks into the wing. Good body work there by PJ Carlin. It's picked up by Josh Costa. Costa in the middle to Hames. Hames back to Costa. Costa finds a teammate, and now it's wrapped up, holding the ball in the middle of the ground. And St. Peter's did really well. Broadview on there. Nick Michaels to a teammate, uncontested in the end. Good from Spock inside 50, takes the mark. And all that hard work from Broadview could be erased if St. Peter's get this goal here. I think it's Johnny Reid. I think it is. Johnny Reid, 4 goals last week. 22 goals this year. And makes no mistake of that one, directly in front. So Johnny Reid with a goal to his name. St. Peter's 3 goals 5-23 to Broadview 0 goals 3-3. They lead by 20 points, St. Peter's. And if you look closely and notice, St. Peter's is actually wearing their Indigenous Guernsey today. It was designed by number 10 player Ty Bedford, who designed the Guernsey for them. He's played not a bad game as well today. A wonderful design for St. Peter's, the Indigenous Guernsey. In round 18, I've decided to wear it. Carl did really well on the ruck. However, St. Peter's midfielders are doing a bit more work at the moment. Was that a throw? The umpire said it was. The ball was kicked away, but that was while the whistle was in. Was just gone. So time will stop as they get the ball back to him. In the middle here is Fergus Carruthers. Carruthers now looking for the options, and just takes his time before he kicks it. And Yang's in the vicinity for the Tigers, and he takes an uncontested mark. Good by him, Cholan Yang. Cholan Yang goes short and finds Luke Hodby. Hodby thought about the handball. Did he take a step? Goes out wide to a man all on his own, Jai Hart Kelly. Hart Kelly hasn't played too many games this season. Comes off the back of Kobe Wilson there with a big fly for the football. Kobe Wilson's played well for Broadview. He's had a good start. Leary lurking in the area, lays a tackle on his opponent, but didn't affect it. Handball goes from McGill to Fergus Carruthers. Now here's Bedford again. Bedford takes his time before he kicks it. Eventually found the man with a chest mark on the ground. Trying to spot out who that one is. He's going to have the shot though from a difficult angle. Plays on in the run up. It's gone close. The man been knocked down in the goal square for St. Peter's, and he'll receive the free kick for that. Probably the better call by the umpire there, and to let that one go. So who's going to take the kick then? Looks like it's going to be Charlie Allen. And Allen makes no mistake. On the quarter-time siren, he gets a goal to his name. And St. Peter's, well, a very, very big start for the start of this game. St. Peter's 4 goals, 5, 29 to Broadview, 0 goals, 3. They lead it by 26 points at the moment. We'll get you the goal kickers at quarter time. And so far, it's St. Peter's leading the way by 26 points. We'll take a short break as we'll be with you for the second quarter live on Filming Footy. Hello everybody, welcome back to Caterer Oval for this round 18 clash between St Peter's OC and Broadview. Quarter time here at Caterer Oval is St Peter's got 4 goals, 5-29 to Broadview, 0 goals, 3-3. Goal kickers here for St Peter's, 1 to Charlie Allen, 1 to Fergus Carruthers, 1 to James Higgins and 1 to Johnny Reid. Broadview yet to score. Just want to thank our sponsors here, Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, Custom by ORTC, HI5 E-Bikes, Dartfish, Archie's, Jag Meatworks and Kimberley Resorts. Well, very fast start from St Peter's, and Broadview were just too slow to react. They piled on 4 goals on the board. A few behinds in there as well. They're at 2-5 at one stage, got it to 4-5, 29. Broadview gets to score a goal. They've had their opportunities though. As we're about to get underway for the second quarter. We saw last week St Peter's Fraser Bone was with a injury and he injured his hamstring, and Ben McGill with a hamstring. So depending on how bad those injuries are, they could be potentially out for the season. We hope not, as St Peter's have the finals coming up. It was almost tackled there, got the kick away just in time. Beard just had a fumble for the boys, trying to claim the mark, Matthew Beard. I think it did hit the ground beforehand, and I don't think Beard would have too many complaints about that one, Matty Beard. Ball up, tap one down by Spock, clearing ball, 1v1. I think Yang was holding Harvey George. George now with the footy. Sends it inside 50. There's 1v1 contests all around, and too strong in the end was Johnny Reid. He's already got 1 goal just on the final siren of that first quarter. It's just too strong for Jaden Ryan, the deputy vice captain for the Tigers. And Johnny Reid, well, 4 goals last week. Broadview crowd trying to put him off here. Johnny Reid isn't phased at all. He kicks his second. And they're 5th for St Peter's, 5-5, 35 to Broadview, 0 goals, 3-3, 32-point leaders at the moment. And they started the second quarter just as they started the first. Early inside 50s for scores, and this time they start with a major. And Broadview have not had the best of years, we know that. Probably one of their worst years in history. Haven't won a game all season, 0-17. It's been a tough year for the Tigers, with St Peter's will not make it any easier today. Jai Hart Kelly with the footballs tackled in the middle of the ground. Here comes St Peter's again. Near the goal square, Johnny Reid was there, couldn't quite get a clean possession of the football. Picked up, snap around the body from Nick Michaels, but couldn't quite make an impact and couldn't quite get the snap high enough, and it's just bounced out of bounds. So last touch rule, we'll see Broadview get the ball back. Got an option in the middle, there's a Blade Trevorrow there. Was calling for the football, his first game with the A grade today. Cooper O'Leary with the ball in hand now. O'Leary down the line, but he's turned it over and it's gone straight to Stuart Rattray, the ruckman. You don't want to turn it over to a ruckman uncontested. Goes to Weeks, but the kick might not have been far enough. Umpire thought about holding the ball, but didn't. Now Broadview can come with the football. His Beard in the middle of the ground, gets a handball away. Wonderfully done to Cooper O'Leary. Has a bounce, he's being chased, he's bounced it, but he's lost possession of the football as he bounced it. Wow, very unlucky there for Cooper O'Leary, bouncing it in that middle of the ground with all the dirt. The ball will bounce a bit more aggressively for you, and I'm sure Cooper O'Leary would have figured that out as he bounced that one. Stolen out of the ruck was from PJ Carlin. And he just got the handball away, but it went straight to a teammate. And the tackle will be a ball up in the middle of the ground. St. Peter's, the highest they can finish is third. 3 points behind Golden Grove after that draw. They had with Salisbury North, a thriller in that game. Nick McGill now. Over the top, they can keep going here, St. Peter's. Inside the 50, couldn't quite onto the mark, and then accidentally socket it over the boundary line, and the umpire had no choice but to pay last touch possession, and Yang is going to take the ball for the Tigers. He wants to go short. Good option in the end. Now this is the kick that really counts for the Tigers. Need a mark here or a clearance off the Crummers because they can't get it past this point at the moment, the Tigers. Middle of the ground, good option. Always go to the ruckman, PJ Carlin. Carlin got the ball to O'Leary. O'Leary to Hart Kelly. Here they go, the Tigers. Hart Kelly finds a teammate, stretching his arms out. There was Ben Manning, the vice captain, inside 50. It was spoiled by David Grant, but it went behind him. The Tigers are still lurking. They're in the danger area. Tried to fend a man off. And unfortunately, when you do that and don't get rid of him, it's holding the ball. I think that was Callum Flanagan there who gave away the football. But now St. Peter's want to move it quickly from back line to forward line. They want to catch Broadview off guard. Edward Weeks finds Benjamin in yellow in the back pocket. He's a good player. He can go up forward and kick goals. He can defend for you. 1v1 situation. Good spoil came from Josh Costa, but he's called high contact. I thought it was a good spoil in the end, but our umpire had a better view than I did, so we'll take his word for it. And Yang forced to give the ball back to Spock. We notice they want to move quickly. Broadview take their times when they get free kicks. For Spock, they move it quickly. Here's Ty Bedford. Gets the ball inside 50. 1v1 contest. Both are holding each other. Johnny Reid just couldn't quite get the mark. Here come Broadview, the debutant. Blade Trevorrow with his first disposal, and he gets a round of applause around the ground for that. His first game today of A-grade football, and don't the fans love him already? It's a 25-metre penalty. They didn't quite see that one there, but Broadview with the football. So it's Campbell Mulleron now. Mulleron goes wide, but couldn't quite find a teammate. Here's Fergus Carruthers now, gets to the ruckman Stuart Rattray. He's tackled, picked up by Toby Kay for the Tigers. He's hands into the ground. The ball still spills loose though. Here come the Tigers again. Hart Kelly says a little dummy before he gets the handball away back to Kay. Now they keep going down the line. Good mark taken there by Jackson Haynes. Haynes now inside the 50. Here could come a big contest. Good body contact in the end, but unfortunately couldn't quite take the spoil. Cross goals now go Spock, Hamish Allen. Broadview put the pressure on, but just can't find the scores at the moment. Yet to score this quarter. St. Peter's only the one goal. It's been an even quarter so far in these first 6.5 minutes. Wonderful day for football, I'll tell you what, at Caterer Oval. James Higgins with the footy now. He's ready to kick the goal. Wants to go across this time, and if it doesn't work, it's risky. But when you've got players uncontested like that, it will certainly pay off. In the middle of the ground, here they are again. They left the ruckman uncontested. Stuart Rattray now. And it's getting a bit easier for Spock at the moment as they find another uncontested mark. This time it's taken by Edward Allen. He played on and was tackled. The umpire says to stop. He's given him a card here for the sling tackle. A yellow card to Matthew Beard, I think. Wow, so the umpire's given, I think, Matthew Beard a yellow card. There's two players going off, so I think it is Matthew Beard for the sling tackle. The umpire wasn't happy with that. 25 metres paid. You know, well, we'll have to get some confirmation on that. I think it was Matthew Beard that got taken off with the yellow for the sling tackle. Benjamin in yellow now has the opportunity to score for St. Peter's to make it really difficult for Broadview. Benjamin in yellow has drilled it straight through the middle. He kicks his first of the afternoon. We saw he kicked a beautiful goal in the last quarter last week against Shock to get him right back into the game with that checker side. Goal kickers here for St. Peter's. Charlie Allen with 1, Fergus Carruthers with 1, James Higgins with 1, Benjamin in yellow with his first just then, Johnny Reid with 2 for St. Peter's at the moment. So it has been a very fast start for St. Peter's, and they keep going here in the second quarter. They lead it by 38 points. It's more than 6 goals now. Broadview yet to score a goal in this match. We'll do a retake of the ball up after it was a stoppage. It's his clearance there. Played Trevorrow with debutant, and now it's going to be a free kick going the way of Broadview. So the Tigers will take it through Hamish Ralph. Ralph now sets it up for a 1v1 contest, but eventually the numbers came, and so did Ben Belperio, who got a good spoil. Now they're scrimmaging around the ball in that pocket. Broadview want to score their first goal. St. Peter's don't want to let them. They might do it here. The Tigers, it's still in the goal square. Wonderful defence from St. Peter's. It could come back though. Hamish Ralph doesn't let the ball bounce over him as he slaps it to his advantage. In a 1v1 situation though, he gets it out of there, and Sholan Yang with the football now. And Yang wants to send it back inside 50. Tried to fight Hart Kelly. Got it back to Yang after they couldn't quite hit him on the chest. And Yang just kept the ball in play. Wonderfully done by Yang actually. He was being tackled over the boundary line. He didn't want the ball to go out for a throw until he just got the handball before he's taken over. Wonderful effort there, Sholan Yang. He's played a bit of ruck today, and he's played well in those 1v1 contests. Now back in the ruck for the Tigers is PJ Carlin. He just steals it out the ruck too easily, and he's still going. Doesn't want to get caught in the ball. Gets the handball off to a teammate. I think this is Kobe Wilson. Wilson lines up for goal, and he sprayed it. Doesn't even score anything, but still in the area of the Tigers. He does a sidestep. Handballs to a teammate. There's a lot of Tigers around the area, but they can't quite seem to get a mark or a shot on goal inside 50 at the moment. And now it could go down the other end after some great play from Broadview. St. Peter's could definitely punish them. Picked up by Fergus Carruthers, who's already got 1 goal. Dribbler to a teammate in James Higgins. Higgins just turns the ball over though. Here come the Tigers. Handballs backwards, was cut off, and it's wonderfully done by Sam Higgins. I tell you what, it's been a competitive quarter. We know St. Peter's are on top, but Broadview aren't necessarily playing bad and just haven't been able to get the scores on the board. It's been an even quarter despite, St. Peter's having 2 goals to nothing. Broadview had their chances, and now they get a free kick. Wants to go short, almost cut off there. Jackson Wilson has been made to work. Here's the debutant, Blade Trevorrow. Trevorrow, was he taken high there? They get the ball off of him. A handball away from Nick Michaels, found a teammate. Inside 50, the man, Ty Bedford. And Ty Bedford will have an opportunity to score. Ty Bedford for his first goal of the afternoon to give St. Peter's their 7th. No mistake from Ty Bedford. Straight through the middle, and after a very inaccurate first quarter, now they can't miss St. Peter's. 4-5 at quarter time, 7-5 so far in the second quarter. They've only played 12 minutes, so they've really focused on their accuracy, and they've delivered. Ty Bedford with a goal. Ty Bedford, as we said before, the Indigenous Guernsey that St. Peter's are wearing today was actually designed by him. And a goal to cap it all off. Thank you to our sponsors, Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, custom by ORTC, HI5 E-Bikes, Dartfish, Archie's Jag Meatworks, and Kimberley Resorts are proud sponsors of Filming Footy. Ball up and Yang now in the ruck, but it just went a bit too early. St. Peter's timed it well, but in the middle was Caleb Jones. Couldn't quite get the handball to a teammate though. St. Peter's still in the area. There's a few attempts at it. Broadview still there, and Yang just fumbled it, but got the ball back, and Yang's played well for the Tigers. Gets it to Caleb Jones in the middle of the ground. Now another man who's played well, Kobe Wilson, just got the handball away to, and Yang looked like a little bit of a throw to O'Leary, but he goes backwards and finds Ben Manning the vice-captain. Manning goes in the middle of the ground. Not sure where, though. He's gone straight to the opposition. They could make him pay, though, if they dropped the mark there, Charlie Allen. But they don't in the end. And Ed Colley now with the football for Spock. This is some great ball movement by the Saints, kept alive by Jesse McKinnon, was tackled over the boundary line, kept the ball in play, picked up and stolen by Nick McGill. Now he's tackled, and the umpire's given a free kick to Broadview. They're going to go backwards here. Here's Ben Manning. Manning's got Hart Kelly on his own. He has a bounce. Yeah, Hart Kelly's calling for it, but doesn't want to. He wants to try and find Jaden Ryan, and Ryan marks the ball just on the boundary line. Jaden Ryan goes across goal, back to where the kick came from before, and eventually got it away pretty easily, Broadview. But Anyang couldn't quite hold onto it cleanly. There's a lot more pressure from Broadview, but St. Peter's just finding their ways around it at the moment. 3 goals in this quarter to St. Peter's to no score. 3 goals straight, that is. And Broadview still yet to score a goal. Free kick going the way to St. Peter's won't make it any easier for him. Kai McCarthy now inside the 50. Couldn't find Reed. He got a slap away. Now here come the Tigers. Jackson Wilson. Wonderful run and pass to a teammate in the middle of the ground. They can keep going. Handball goes over the top from Brody Pierce. Pierce to find another teammate. They can keep going down the line. Little 1-2, but I think this is Jackson Wilson again. Now inside the 50. It's close to the goals, but taken away by Edward Weeks, and he's another one who's played well and kicks it to David Grant. Grant, little short one, and it goes to the opposition, and Broadview now inside 50, but inside 50 they go, and they turn it over very easily, uncontested mark taken. Now here's Ian Yellow. Ian Yellow goes down the line, wonderful kick. How about the vision? Great positioning as well for Jesse McKinnon. Couldn't quite hold on to the mark though, and Kobe Wilson makes him pay almost. He turns it over, he does make him pay. Goes to Yang, but then Yang went too short to O'Leary to be awarded the required journey for a mark. So it's a play on quickly, got it into a contest, and now we'll have a ball up after no one could spill free. 15.5 minutes gone here in the second quarter, and Yang got a tap, just a little palm down to a teammate. They'll try and get it away here. Broadview out wide. O'Leary's lurking. He couldn't quite get a clean position of the football to pick it up. The ball scooped up from Broadview. Kick was smothered. Still in that pocket. Still dangerous in the area. They can keep going for their first goal of the game. Finally, Broadview get it. Just try and see who that was. Might have been O'Leary. This seems pretty gassed after that one. We'll go with O'Leary for now. I didn't get the best view on it. But Broadview finally, with their first goal. It took a while. It took 16.5 minutes into the second term for it to arrive, but it finally is here, and a long-awaited journey. Finally, they're rewarded for their efforts inside 50. See if they can get another one here. Yang just sort of feathered the ball down to a teammate, but here come Broadview at the middle. I'll tell you what, when they get the ball movement going, they can play, but they turn it over there through Jackson Hames. Here comes Spock. They're not happy that Broadview got the first goal. Wonderful tackle late on Ed Colley. Looked like he dropped it, and that one's high. So Broadview get the ball eventually through Jackson Hames. Hames has got men all around him, goes short to a teammate, across goals in the 50. Still it's gone to Jaden Ryan. Ryan gets a handball off, and it finds Ben Manning, who pumps one out of there. Big kick, but gone straight back to the opposition. Here is Ben Belperio. Belperio to Edward Allen. They can keep moving the football here. Spock into a contest. Just stopped it with his foot there, Jai Hart Kelly. Not often you see that, but if it works, it works. But it might not, as Bedford's got the ball wrapped up, but got the handball away. Inside 50 goes Spock. Oh, big mark taken. And in the end, Kyan McCarthy, I think it is, sorry, not McCarthy, Johnny Reed, with the football. Big mark taken. He's got 2 today. This will be for his 3rd. He's been kicking them well. Johnny Reid has got his third. And St. Peter's have their 8th. They can't miss. In the first quarter it was 4 goals 5. This quarter now it's 8 goals 5, and they're accurate as ever. Third goal to Johnny Reid. Thank you to our sponsors: Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, Custom by ORTC, HR5 E-Bikes, Dartfitch, Archie's, Jag Meatworks and Kimberley Resorts. Well, after Broadview scored that goal, their first goal, St. Peter's hit straight back. Going to be a big percentage booster if they get this win today and hold on. Right now it's 44 points of difference, and Yang got a handball away to Hart Kelly. Hart Kelly goes backwards to Jackson Hames. Hames gets it, little 1-2 off of Kobe Wilson to Hames. Hames has had a good patch of the football here, but unfortunately turns it over in the end. It's a handball, comes away from Samuel Higgins, and here comes Spock again. Good tackle late, that's holding the ball. Good decision by the umpire in the end, and he's rewarded for his tackle there, Callum Flanagan. Flanagan was screaming for it inside 50. Doesn't want to go there, wants to take his time with it. Jackson Wilson's calling for the football here. Doesn't want to go there, eventually goes down the line. Good vision, good mark held on to. I think that might be Campbell Mulheron. It's going to go for goal here. Sends one high, but very wide in the end. It's still in distance, but it's tapped over the boundary line for a boundary throw in. And now Broadview will get their opportunity to score their second if they can. Ball thrown in now by the boundary umpire. There's another tackle for another ball up in the same position, so we just had it. Into time on now. And St. Peter's have really dominated today. And Broadview, we know they've struggled all season, but today might be just a reflection and what a season it's been. Winless all year. Now they get their second goal, however. And it's 8-5-53 to Broadview 2-3-15. We said we'll confirm the goal kickers for you at half time at the start of the third quarter. Last week, Broadview came in for a 29-point loss to Glenunga. St. Peter's with a 10-point loss to Sacred Heart. Up next for St. Peter's are the finals. For Broadview, it's going to be Division 2. Another ball up here, and Yang got the tap down to Kobe Wilson. Wilson gets the handball to a teammate. He kicks it inside 50. Oh, big flyer. But he's giving away a free kick. Taken by David Grant. Grant into the pocket now. Over the top, he can keep going here, St. Peter's. In the back line now. We saw they were a bit inaccurate last time they met St. Peter's. It was, he's dropped the mark there, Nick McGill. Give you that stat in a minute as Broadview around the football now, stuff around the body, high footy, now inside 50, they take the mark. The last time these two met was in round 9. It was Broadview 5 goals, 4-34, to St. Peter's 7 goals, 24. 66. Come out 32-point winners there, the Saints, in the end. Just trying to see who's lining up for goal here. Broadview for their third goal of the afternoon. Straight through the middle. Try and spot up who that is. It might be the skipper O'Leary again. Might be O'Leary, so we'll get confirmation of that. Of all the goal kickers at half time. And Yang and Stuart right in the right, just bounced off the ground. That wasn't paid the required journey. The step around the body goes Harvey George. Now it's getting a bit more contested into the pack, and Yang tried to get a handball away but couldn't. Good tackle by Hart. Kelly should be holding the ball, and he's holding the ball, and he lets him know about it as well. And Jai Hart Kelly, got to be careful, doesn't reverse it. Kelly, wonderful vision. Could have been a Yang, but his teammate Callum Flanagan took the mark in the end. Callum Flanagan goes into the flank, and it's tapped down and could be turned over. They keep it alive through Benjamin in yellow. He's got one today. That utility player back to Hart Kelly, little 1-2 with Jacob Velotta. Selson Candy gets it to Charlan Yang. There's a player down for St. Peter's. He gets another disposal, Blade Trevorrow, and the Blade Trevorrow fan club are certainly in strong voices today at Caterer Oval. As soon as he gets the footballs, they take it high. The umpire says no, it'll be a ball up. They've ducked the shoulder there. Tap one down by short Rat Ray. Handballs to the middle of the ground for Broadview. Just a soccer out of there. 26 minutes gone. There shouldn't be too long left to go, but wonderful mark held on to by Nick McGill. McGill won over the top to Bedford. Ty Bedford. And keep moving here, Spock, because there's time for one more. Back to Bedford. Bedford in the middle. And he finds Hamish Allen. Allen stops in his tracks. Wonderful vision in the end. And found James Higgins. Higgins. Short to in yellow. In yellow. Inside the 50-yard high ball. Contest emerged. Too big. Too strong. Too powerful. On the final siren, Johnny Reid. He's kicked 3 today. This is for his 4th. We've got the best angle. The Broadview fans trying to put him off. Johnny Reid for his 4th goal, and probably the best one of them all. He's missed it. He hasn't scored. And he's being let know by the Broadview faithful. Half time here at Caterer Oval to St. Peter's 8 goals 5. 53 of 4 goals straight quarter for St. Peter's to Broadview. 3 goals 3, 21. So it's 4 goals straight to 3 goals straight. Half time here at Caterer Oval. Just want to thank our sponsors, broadcast partners, Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, Custom by ORTC, HR5 E-Bikes, Dartfish, Archie's, Jag Meatworks, and Kimberley Resorts. Well, it was a very fast start for St. Peter's, and they started even better in that second quarter. Broadview a few goals, yes, but it was St. Peter's too strong in the end. Just to quickly take you around the grounds here at Webb Oval. Glenunga 6 goals 642, trailing Payneham 8 goals 149 by 7 points. It painted me to win that game and rely on Prince Alfred, who are losing to Golden Grove 2-3-15 to Golden Grove 9-10-64. So whoever wins, so if Prince Alfred wins, they are safe. If Payneham wins and Prince Alfred lose, Payneham are safe from the relegation drop along with Broadview. Ross Trevor, 2 goals 7, 19 to Port District, 5 goals 3, 33. And an absolute belting at the moment. What an upset at Salisbury North Oval. It is Salisbury North 1 goal 3, 9 to Sacred Heart 11 goals 6, 72. And looks like Salisbury North might miss the 5 because whoever wins that game will make the top 5. Wowee, how about that for a scoreline at half time? Well, looks like Sacred Heart could be playing finals. Anyway, we'll take you to the half-time break. Thank you for tuning in to Filming Footy. Up in your commentator, Peter Georginas. We'll be back with the goal kickers and the second half live on Filming Footy. Half time here of this round 18 clash between St Peter's Old Collegians and Broadview. Well, St Peter's leading away at the moment at half time. 8 goals 553, 3 goals 321. The goal kickers here for St Peter's is one for Ty Bedford, one for Charlie Allen, one for Fergus Carruthers, one for Higgins, James Higgins that is, sorry, one for Benjamin Ianiello, 3 for Johnny Reid for the Tigers, 2 for Cooper O'Leary, the skipper, and 1 for Kobe Wilson. Just want to thank our broadcast partner, Swimming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, Custom by ORTC, HI5 E-Bike, Startfish, Archies, Jag Meatworks and Kimberley Resorts. Well, we saw in the first quarter, St Peter's a little bit inaccurate, 4 goals 5. They definitely showed their accuracy in the second quarter, 8 goals 5. 4 goals straight in that second term for Broadview. They didn't have a goal at quarter time, 0 goals 3-3. In that quarter they kicked 3 goals straight to make it 3-3-21 at the half-time break. At the moment they trail by 32 points. It was 26 at quarter time. Now 32 down. Broadview need a big second half if there's any chance in this game. 6 goals is what they need to hit the lead. Winless all season. Is it time for Broadview finally to get their first? Or will St Peter's be able to hold on? And so 50 straight away from PJ Carlin, but the ball's turned over. And going straight to St Peter's. And over the top, O'Leary was there, got the hands, but couldn't quite stop Hamish Allen from getting the ball away. Got it to a teammate, and bang they go, but it's straight out in the full. So ball going back to Broadview here. Goes in short. Finds Jackson Wilson. Wilson, they want a fast start. The Tigers, a win would give them their first one of the year. Is that 25 metres? No. Toby K with the mark. Little short one to Josh Costa. Costa sends it inside 50. Almost was he blocked out of that one? I think he was in the end. So it's going to be Hamish Ralph with the football. And probably should have had the free there. He did get it in the end. Hamish Ralph. Opportunity to kick their 4th goal for the Tigers. It looks to be coming short in the goal square. Almost taken, but couldn't quite. St Peter's moved the ball from fullback, but it was almost stolen by Angus Ralph. He got the handball away and all on his own in the end. It was Ty Bedford. Ty Bedford now looking for the options. He's got a lot of players screaming his name. Eventually he goes and that's come off the leg, I think. It has, and you can't believe it, but it's come off the leg of Edward Weeks. It's gone for Broadview now. Good kick, short, found Brody Pearce. Pearce played on, was tackled, got to O'Leary. O'Leary to a teammate, dribbled along the ground. Was he being held? There, Jackson Hames. It'll be a ball up. Hames now electing himself for the ruck for Broadview. I don't think anyone wanted to tap those. It spilled through both sets of ruckman's hands. Handball goes from Campbell Mulleran. Mulleran got it to a teammate who's wrapped up for a stoppage. Payneham now hit the lead against Glenunga. 9 goals 256 to Glenunga, 6 goals 642. So at the moment it's Payneham going up and Prince Alfred being relegated. Sacred Heart still dominating over Salisbury North at Salisbury North Oval, which is going to be interesting to see how the top 5 finishes for the season and who's staying up and who gets relegated. Bedford with the football now. Just dodges the tackle, gets a handball away. The tapped on though for Broadview as they turn it over through Ben Manning, who got the handball to a teammate who was taken and didn't have any prior opportunity to get rid of the football. Tap down. Got the ball up. stolen. Henry Stewart, Rattray behind him, goes to a teammate, then to Edward Allen. Allen finds Hamish Allen. The brothers there link up. Now Malachi Carruthers tried to get the ball to James Higgins. Higgins was held without it, so a free kick going his way, but they want to take advantage here, St. Peter's. And why wouldn't you? When you could slot him just like that. Let's try and see who that was. Sorry, it's a bit hard to see on this side of the ground. We'll get confirmation of that shortly. Just want to thank our broadcast partners: Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, Custom by ORTC, HI5 E-Bikes, Dartfish, Archie's, J Meatwork and Kimberley Resorts. In the middle, again as we resume, St. Peter's will resume what they've been doing. They haven't missed since the first quarter. They go back inside 50 for another opportunity at it. Taken too high. Free kick going the way of St. Peter's for another opportunity to really hurt the Tigers. Nick Michaels now with the football. Nick Michael. Chance for their 10th goal of the afternoon. He's missed to the left. Well, there's a space for HI5 e-bikes at the Men's Division 1 Grand Final day at Norwood Oval. Jamal will be there with a bunch of his e-bikes for adults and kids as well. So be sure to have a look at the e-bikes on display at Norwood Oval. Division 1 Grand Final, that's HI5 e-bikes. Back on the way at Caterer Oval. And spoiled over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in. Ball thrown in now. Oh, Leary doing the ruck work for Broadview. Not something you see every day. The small man there. Good tackle laid. Costed laid another one for St. Peter's, but they can keep progressing down the line. A bit of confusion between the Broadview defenders before they can keep it alive. St. Peter's, it's still in play actually. The umpire says no, it was over the boundary line. So I think it's going to be a boundary throw-in. Ball thrown in now. Tapped down by Carlin. Tried to find a teammate. Couldn't quite. Broadview still around the area. Handball out of there. Little handball defence. Back to Carlin. Carlin's short and finds Campbell Mullerin. Mullerin just turns it straight over to the position, and James Higgins. Higgins throws on to the left. High ball and all on his own. Was his teammate there. Try and spot who that is. Apologies. It's very difficult to see this other side of the ground here at Caterer Oval. Lines up for goal though. And now they're kicking him. Just trying to spot up who that is. Have to get some further confirmation on it at 3/4 time. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Back underway in the middle. It's Spock 10-6-66 to Broadview 3-3-21. Broadview haven't done anything this quarter just yet. It's been all St. Peter's. They're continuing their run. And it's looking like it will continue to punish the Tigers even more further. O'Leary gets a handball away, but it goes straight to the opposition. And this is James Higgins, who kicks it towards the pocket. The ball's still bouncing around. It's still in play, but eventually touched over the boundary line. It might be actually last touch possession. The umpire's called touched on the hill. Ball thrown in now. Tapped down by the ruckman of St. Peter's. I think a short right in there. Another ball up. Well, just about 10 minutes gone here. And St. Peter's kicked 2 goals, 1 so far in this quarter. Broadview yet to score. Just a bit of a slower start to this third term. And St. Peter's won't make it any easier for them. Tom Rundle takes the mark. Rundle swings one up and taken there by, I believe, Angus Ralph. No, sorry, not Angus Ralph. Apologies. I think that's PJ Carlin. Go across goal, and it works out for the Tigers this time, but it may not if he drops it. That could be holding the ball if he's not careful. The crowd want holding the ball. They get it. And going across goal has really hurt Broadview here. An ugly season might get even uglier. It's St. Peter's. $45 points up at the moment. And you can make it 51 with a straight kick like that. I think that might have been Benjamin in yellow. If it is, it's his second goal. And there's no stopping St. Peter's at the moment. Well, thank you to our broadcast partners, Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, Custom ORTC, HF5 E-Bikes, Dartfish, Archie's Jag, Meatworks, Kimberley Resorts. It's continuing their dominance, St. Peter's. We thought they might have won today, but the question is by how much? Take you around the grounds shortly, back on the way, Catera Oval. And Carlin. Sorry, not Carlin. There's wrapped up. At the moment, not Carlin, sorry. And the umpires said it called a blood roll, so I think Carlin might be bleeding. He looks to be walking off. They can't resume play while he's on the ground, I don't think. They're going to have to wait for PJ Carlin to walk off the ground. He's taking his time with it. And Yang will come on for him. So Spock get the ball. Sends it inside 50. Kyle McCarthy. Almost could take in the mark. Inside 50, here's Bedford. Beats a couple, has a bounce. Beats a few more, shrugs one off, gets the handball away. Little 1-2, step around the body. Almost to the goal square. Wonderful play by Ty Bedford. Unfortunately, they couldn't finish it off with a goal. And it'll be tapped over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in. Tell you what, Ty Bedford is definitely been popping up in a few spots, especially in the second and third term. Be another ball up. And Yang just got an arm to it. Trying to get it to a teammate before he was stopped in his tracks. Another ball up in the exact same position we just had it in. Well, St. Peter's now with the football. Broadview, 3 tacklers on him there. The ball spills free, but St. Peter's will get it straight back. Inside 50 they go again. And Johnny Reid's in this goal square. Couldn't quite take the mark. Ball spills, bounces all over the place. Broadview fumble. Handball away. St. Peter's edging closer and closer to the goal. That could be holding the ball though. And it is. Free kick going the way of the Tigers. So I'll take it from full back. The high ball to spot the man on the wing. Might be O'Leary. O'Leary turns it over, I think, to Hamish Allen. Allen now with the football. He's got man on his own. That's Nick Michaels. Goes in the direction. Doesn't quite find Michaels, but he finds Harvey George instead. And Harvey George can definitely make it even harder for Broadview. As it isn't hard enough already. As if it isn't hard enough already, I should say. Sorry. Harvey George. Lines up for goal now. And makes the goal umpire work. He's missed it to the left. 15.5 minutes gone in this third term. They're full back now, Broadview with the football. Gore tried to see what he could do to Tyrone Hill, but he couldn't quite. Now it goes back to Spock. Oh, what a shot on goal if that went through, but he missed. Another behind. $11,773 to 3,321. And you can hear the St. Peter's crowd behind the goals. Giving it to the Broadview players when they kick from full back. Good hands from Haynes to O'Leary. Inside 50 now, and there's Angus Ralph. And Ralph has got options. They're calling for it. Eventually goes to the top of the goal square to a 2v1. The big fly came from Hamish Ralph, but couldn't come down with the football. The ball's still in the area. The umpire's called a high contact free kick. And O'Leary, the skipper, he's kicked 2 today. Chance for his 3rd. Broadview's 4th. He's played well today, O'Leary. Cooper O'Leary. Straight through the middle. A consolation goal. The Broadview fans like it though, and why wouldn't they? Their skipper delivering a captain's goal. We'll take you around the grounds quickly. Paynham on top of Glenunga at the moment. 7,749 to Paynham. 12 goals, 274. Prince Alfred, 4 goals, 327 to Golden Grove. 12, 10, 82. The way it stands, Prince Alfred will be relegated and Paynham will be staying in Division 1. Ross Trevor, 4 goals, 933 to Port District, 5 goals, 434 by 1 point. Salisbury North, 4 goals, 630 to Sacred Heart, 12 goals, 880. They lead by 50 points, and you'd think they'll be in the top 5, so it should be Sacred Heart in the top 5, and at the moment, it's Paynham who are going to stay in Division 1 and Prince Alfred to be relegated. Well, how about that? Very, very interesting way to end this season. It's been tight all year, and it comes down to the final round to determine if you're playing in Div 1 or if you're making the finals. Now, here come the Tigers, who will be playing in Div 2 next year. O'Leary's played well, but he's held his opponent there, Charlie Allen. Allen finds Ben Belperio. Belperio handballs off to Nick McGill. McGill off half back. He's been playing really well today. Next to a teammate on the outer side of the wing. I think that was Ed Colley. Gets it straight out of bounds, actually. So there'll be a loss of position free kick going the way of Broadview and Jackson Hames. Broadview still with the football in the back line. And they're short. Finds a teammate in Jai Hart Kelly. Broadview at the moment struggling to find answers for St. Peter's attacking pressure, but Caleb Jones just turns the ball over. It's not going to help him. Fergus Carruthers now goes and finds Charlie Allen with the ball. Didn't bounce straight for him. Wonderful contest won by Broadview. And now Cooper O'Leary, here's Angus Ralph inside the 50. The ball bounces out of his reach. He's going to have to run, and he's taking him on there. Oh, he got the handball away, the umpire said. How about that? Well, Tom Rundle got the hands away. They were certain it was on the ball, Broadview. And here's Nick McGill. It was wonderful effort before by Brody Pearce to win that ball. But it'll be gone straight back to St. Peter's, but they're gonna make him work for it. That's fending him off well there, Ben Manning, and he gets the handball away to a teammate. Now inside the 50, good mark taken by Tom Rundle. He's had a good third quarter. It's time on now at Caterer Oval. Goes and finds Ty Bedford. Over the top, could be dangerous if it was cut off, but it wasn't by Toby Kay. So Henry Short Way gets it to a teammate in Harvey George. George is in the pocket. Mark taken, balls around the area, still in play, kick back inboard, and he finds Kyan McCarthy. Well, Kyan McCarthy now. He's been playing a little bit of ruck today for Spock. For Henry Short Ray. But McCarthy, an opportunity to kick his first goal of the afternoon. And it looks good, it is good. The crowd love it. The boys get around him. And a perfect day for St. Peter's on their home deck to finish off their home and away season for 2025. Broadview, well, 63 points down. It looks like they'll be finishing the year winless. See PJ Carlin back on the ground now with the strap around his nose. Going into the forward line. And Yang faced the wrong way in the ruck there, but eventually it could have worked out for Broadview. There was Caleb Jones trying to get around the football, but it was taken by Fergus Carruthers. Carruthers, I should say, inside 50. Wasn't paid the mark as it bounced on the floor, but he's got the high tackle free kick anyway. So, St. Peter's Old Collegians, another opportunity. Have really hurt Broadview. They've kicked 4 goals, 3 to 1 goal straight. I think this is Nick Michaels. It might be Nick Michaels. Get confirmation on that a bit later. And he's gone for goal. It is Nick Michaels. And Nick Michaels delivers. Well, St. Peter's Old Collegians 13,886 to Broadview 4,327, 59 points at the moment. It's been a very lacklustre performance for Broadview, and Obviously, they haven't won a game this season. It's been a lackluster season, but unfortunately for the Tigers, they'll be in Division 2 without a win in Division 1 in season 2025. And Yang got the tap down. The ball spilled off of Broadview's hands. Now they can go through Henry Stewart Ratway. Here, St. Peter's or collision. Here's Michaels again. Got the hands away to James Higgins. And Higgins has kicked a goal. That's his second. Wonderful handball by Nick Michaels. 24 and a half minutes gone. And St. Peter's, their highest score of the year is 15-12-102. That was round 13 versus Glenunga. They are 10 away from equaling that at the moment here at Caterer Oval, and it's not even three-quarter time. Back underway in the middle of the ground, and Yang tried to get it to a teammate, but St. Peter's just set up so well in the middle. They're winning every clearance at the moment. This time it's Broadview's opportunity to win one as they get the free kick for holding the ball. Campbell Mulleron now has the football. It's either going to go wide or inside the 50. Inside the 50 he goes. And uncontested, must have been touched because he took a chest mark there. But Edward Allen now with the football, the skipper. Big contest between Ian Yellow and his opponent. I think that was Jackson Wilson, not quite sure. Though, we have a tough angle for me today. And Yang and Stuart Rattray in the ruck though. Can't miss the tall men. Stuart Rattray just got the hands down. What a tap! And he found Hamish Allen. Allen just sends a long one down the line, but it's turned over. And Jackson Hames. And over the top to Jai Hart Kelly. Jai just turns the ball over to Edward Allen, the skipper again, and now they can make him pay. Ty Bedford takes the mark, has a bounce, has a second bounce. Keep going, Ty. Has a handball off to find David Grant. Grant, he found Balperio. Balperio got it towards the pocket. It's still lurking in the area. 360 handball. How about this from St. Peter's? What a play! Eventually, it's finished off by Nick Michaels. And St. Peter's, well, they've come to play. There's a bit of party tricks going on here at Caterer Oval. Really good stuff to watch. Well, this quarter has been the highest scoring quarter yet, with 7 goals, 3 to the opposition's 1 goal straight. 27 and a half minutes gone. You don't think there'll be too long left, but if there is more time left, don't be surprised if St. Peter's keep on scoring. Benjamin Ian Yellow gets the ball, handballs to, oh sorry, it was McKinnon actually had the ball, handball it to Nick McGill. They can keep going down the outer side. Here's O'Leary for the Tigers. He's been one of their better players today. He's kicked 3 goals. There's 2 bounces to himself. Eventually kicks it inside 50. And there's the siren to cap off what was a blistering third term by St. Peter's Old Collegians. They kicked 7 goals, 3 to get it to 15-8, 98 to Broadview's 4 goals, 3, 27. Well, at the moment, it is a 71-point lead to St. Peter's. The biggest win this year is 48 points versus Prince Alfred Old Collegians. So you'd think they'd beat that. Their highest score is 102, 15-12, 102 against Glenunga in round 13. So you think they'd beat that as well. They've beaten their average score of 10,973. I'll give you the goal kickers at the start of the fourth term. Meanwhile, as I quickly take you around the grounds, Glenunga 8,856 to Paynham 13,381. Will they be staying in Division 1 as Prince Alfred 4,428 to Golden Grove 15,10,100. Ross Trevor 5,939 to Port District 6,541. And Salisbury North 5 goals 7,37 to Sacred Heart 13 goals 10,88. So Sacred Heart look to be going into the finals, finishing in 5th spot. Salisbury North will not be able to get there, unfortunately, unless they have a miraculous comeback in the final term, which is highly unlikely. They'll need 9 goals to hit the lead. Looks like it might be Prince Alfred getting relegated and Paynham staying up. We know Broadview is relegated. St. Peter's will finish in the top 3. Thank you to our broadcast partners, Filming Footy Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, Custom Bar ORTC, HI5 E-Bikes, Dartfish, Archie's Jack, Meatworks and Kimberley Resorts. Well, three-quarter time here at Caterer Oval is St. Peter's Old Collegians 15,898 to Broadview 4 goals 3,27. They lead by 71 points in a blistering third term from St. Peter's. Can they keep it up in the final term, or will Broadview just make it a little less bad than what it already is? We'll see you shortly after the break. And we're underway for the final term here at Caterer Oval to St. Peter's 15 goals 898 to Broadview 4 goals 327. 71 point leaders at three-quarter time at St. Peter's. It's their biggest win of the season so far and 4 points away from equaling their highest score. And Yang tapped it straight to the opposition there. It's not going to help. Coley gets the little 1-2 through Bedford. Just tried to spot it up to Henry Rattray. Rattray, the ruckman, has a mark too far out to score. Sends it inside 50. Almost took the mark there was Fergus Carruthers. Carruthers, though, turns it over. And here come Broadview. Josh Costa now sends it out wide. Finds a teammate. One over the top. Here's PJ Carlin. PJ Carlin now sends it inside 50. Into the pocket, almost a big fly came. Couldn't quite take it. A bit early in the jump actually. So the ball will be thrown in. Tap one down. I think that was Carlin back into the ruck for the Tigers. Here's Caleb Jones, gets to the way to a teammate. Into the pocket now. Mark taken. By Hamish Ralph. Now Ralph. Opportunity. I think Broadview's 5th goal. Hamish Ralph. It looks good. Has it got the distance? It does. It does, but it doesn't have the accuracy. So it'll bring it to 4-4-28 for Broadview. First behind since the first quarter where they kicked 3 behinds. We've only managed 1 goal, 1 so far since quarter time. Sorry, 3 goals, 1. 4 goals, 1 since quarter time. So Broadview haven't been playing well, especially in that third term where they had to 1 goal only. The second quarter was the best one where they scored 3 goals. St. Peter's looking for a massive win today. St. Peter's still progressing with the football, but he's stopped in his tracks there. Fergus Carruthers. Ball up. Yang slapped it down. He got it to Jai Hart Kelly. He got the hands away to Jackson Wilson. Wilson finds Carlin. Carlin inside the 50 into that pocket, and Broadview they struggled all day to get it inside 50. Short one goes to Ty Bedford. Bedford over the top. And finds Hamish Allen. Allen to a teammate. They can keep going in the middle of the ground. Here's Ed Colley. Ball bounces into his favour. Colley spots up a teammate on the lead, and it's Harvey George. And Harvey George, an opportunity to, I believe, kick his 2nd goal. George lines up. It's the post, and you can hear the impact on that one as well. So to bring it to 15-9-99. To Broadview, 4 goals, 5, 29, 70 points. Kick wasn't far enough and fell back to be the quiet 15. Could be a turnover if they're not careful. It will be a turnover. Snap around the body. Doesn't quite score from Hamish Allen. The ball will be brought in from Broadview. And just struggling for options here. He's puzzled. Kicks it out. And he's turned it over. Now St. Peter's, through Ty Bedford, have an opportunity to kick another one. They're 15-10-100. Sorry. Well, now they are. To 4-5-29. So 71 points. If he kicks the goal, Ty Bedford, it'll be their highest score of the season. Ty Bedford for St. Peter's. Highest score of the year. It's close. It's touched. So 1 point off of that, equaling it. 15,1101. And when you're just giving it to them like that, it makes it a whole lot easier to find targets and have more shots at goal. They were complaining that it wasn't the required 15. It looked a bit short to me, but in the end, they play on, and he's giving it to Edward Weeks, and Weeks kicks the goal to put him up to 16 goals, 11, 107. To Broadview, 4 goals, 5, 29. Their highest score of the season. St. Peter's Old Collegians.
These are wearing an Indigenous Guernsey for the first time ever, designed by 10 Thai Bedford. You know that.
It's St. Peter's highest score of the year. And it's come in the final round of the season. And Yang taps it down, but it goes straight to the opposition, and St. Peter's, they can keep on going here. Handball. Here's Higgins, gets it to a teammate, and the teammate was Fergus Carruthers. But Carruthers misses. It goes short to the debutant Blade Trevorrow. Trevorrow needs to move it on quickly before the umpire will tell him to. Goes across goals and gets it straight to a teammate. Broadview can move the ball through the other side of the ground now. Middle of the ground. Here come the Tigers. Kobe Wilson with the football now. Has been one of their better players today. He's got a goal to his name as well. And Jai Hartley with the football now. Asking for the switch, but he goes the handball off and finds a teammate Ben Manning. Manning to O'Leary. Marks and plays on quickly. I don't think they had the whistle for the mark actually. Inside 50. Opportunity at ground level is snapped around the body, goes straight out in the full from, I think that was Matthew Beard, and he got bumped as he kicked it. So we'll give him a little bit of slack. Cut him a little bit of slack, I should say. Ball goes straight to St. Peter's. 8.5 minutes gone in this final term at Kayodera Oval. It was a great day for football. A little bit of wind, not too much. A little light breeze. I think it might have been touched over the boundary line, so it'd be a boundary throw-in. Yeah, so just a little bit of wind, but a beautiful day nonetheless. Come off the foot of Ben Manning. Got it to his advantage though, but they've turned it over again. Snap around the body from Harvey George. George tried to find McGill, who played really well today. They got it to a teammate. Inside the 50 and downfield free kick going the way of St. Peter's Old Collegians. And it's going to be Kyan McCarthy. McCarthy, an opportunity to kick his second. He's a tall boy. He's kicked one already. He's playing a little bit of ruck. McCarthy straight through and just hurts Broadview even more on the scoreboard. It's 17 goals, 12, 114 to Broadview, 4-5, 29. $85-point leaders, St. Peter's Old Collegians. As we mentioned earlier before, St. Peter's wearing their Indigenous Guernsey, designed by number 10, Ty Bedford. He's played a really good game today as well. Ty Bedford. Back underway in the middle. Tap one down by Stuart Rattray and then gets a handball away. St. Peter's want more. They're still hungry for more here at Cater Oval. They really want this percentage booster. The umpire says it's a push in the back, I think, in the end to Broadview. So free kick on the way to the Tigers. And this will be Campbell Milleran. Milleran goes short to the debutant blade, Trevorrow. Trevorrow just gets rid of one with a little slip away. Gets it to Kobe Wilson. Wilson to Ben Manning. Manning gets to Wilson now with Campbell Milleran, but he turns the ball over. This time it's Spock's turn. Hamish Allen got the little one to teammate with Ed Colley, then goes to Ty Bedford. They can keep moving the ball down the other side though. Samuel Higgins with the football, handballs it off. Now it's inside 50. Chance for the big fly. Spoiled away. Done well there, Jaden Ryan. But now Robbie Wilson gets the handball backwards to Jai Hart Kelly. Hart Kelly finds Jackson Hames. They've turned the ball over again. This is where they're turning it over the most, Broadview, in the middle of the ground. And this is where it keeps coming back. It's repeat after repeat, inside 50 entries. Beard wants to try and make an impact on Henry Short Rattray, but it's not going to work on the winger and the ruckman. A little short one by Short Rattray. He can get it back if he wants, but he wants to go on the other side, switch the play. And why wouldn't you with a beautiful kick like that? And here's Nick McGill, who deserves a goal, but he spots one up and finds Ed Colley, who's played a good game as well for St. Peter's. And he's giving it away to Ben Belperio. So Belperio with an opportunity. He's been playing well in defence today. And when you're up by this many in the last round of the season, your defenders are kicking goals. It's all a bit of fun out there at the moment. Just St. Peter's old collisions. Ben Belperio for his first goal of the afternoon. And he's missed. 86 points the margin goes up to. Clearing the ball out. Good vision. Couldn't quite onto the mark though was Callum Flanagan. Touched over the boundary line for a boundary throw in. Thrown in now. Carlin missed the right tap. Stuart Rattray clears it inside 50. Bounced over everyone's head there. Wonderful pickup by St. Peter's. Now they get the ball away and they shoot for goal. He has scored the goal. James Higgins, that is. It's his third. Not a lot of celebration for that one, but they've kicked the goal there, St. Peter's. All collisions. It's 18 goals, 13, 121 to Broadview, 4 goals, 5, 29. 88 points at the moment. Very big margin on the scoreboard. $82 points. Sorry, apologies. All on his own on the ruck there. And they keep slapping it forward. And that was Kyan McCarthy in the ruck this time. And what has been a disappointing season for Broadview ends in even more tragedy. Staring down the barrel of their second biggest loss this season. It was 101 points to Salisbury North in round 15, which was their lowest. But now they get an opportunity to score through Angus Ralph. Missed one earlier in the first quarter. But Angus Ralph has missed again. He's missed to the right, and that's not going to help the Tigers whatsoever. St. Peter's to clear from full back now with a big kick. Almost a big fly came from Ben Manning. And they're still around the football. St. Peter's were looking for the 100 points. What a smother. Great smother by Edward Allen, the skipper, inside 50. Cut off too easily by Hamish Allen. Allen finds James Higgins. He's kicked 3. Higgins one over the top. They'll keep going. Here's St. Peter's or Collegians. And Belperio with the mark. Belperio evades 1, has a bounce, gets past 2, goes for goal. Bedford's in the goal square. Bedford marks it, uncontested, sends it out of Caterer Oval. Kicks his second. A deserved goal for him today. The margin, 97 points. And St. Peter's are not stopping. So to thank our broadcast partners, filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, Custom Bio RTC, HR5 E-Bikes, Dartfish, Archies, Jade Meatworks, Kimberley Resorts. Well, around the grounds, it's Paynham looking to stay in Division 1 at the moment, leading over Glenunga 9 goals 862 to 14 goals 387. Prince Alfred 5 goals 636 to Golden Grove 20 goals 10 130, 94-point leaders there at Park 9 are Golden Grove. Ross Trevor 6 9 45 to Port District 7 5 47. And then by 2 points at Campbelltown Memorial Oval. And Salisbury North, 6 goals, 844 to Sacred Heart, 17 goals, 11, 113. So Sacred Heart will be making finals. Salisbury North have to miss out, unfortunately, in 6th spot. Relegated is Broadview and probably at this stage Prince Alfred as well. So it comes down to the final stage of the season where ladder positions and divisions are set for next year. But Broadview, they'll kick another one for O'Leary. That's his 4th. He's been probably their best player, the Tigers, in what has been a disappointing day for them. But Div 2 for them next year. It'll be interesting to see if they'll bounce back into Division 1 in 2027 or if they will stay in Division 2. Remember, it's the grand finalists from each division that will go up to the next division. So the 2 grand finalists from Division 2 will be in Division 1 next year. And for Division 1, whoever the bottom 2 teams are gets relegated, as well as every other division from 1 to 6 in the LA Footy League. Division 7 is the lowest it goes to. And the right, Carlin helped it straight to your position, and they've been making them pay out the middle all day. St. Peter's Old Collisions. Hart Kelly lays the tackle on his opponent. It'll be a ball up. 91 points they lead by St. Peter's Old Collisions. Tap down. There's been a lot of goals for them today. Beard is met solidly with his opponent there, Ed Colley. Matty Beard couldn't quite make an impact. Tap down. Here's McGill. He's played really well today. McGill's just taken in that tackle ever so delicately. 19 minutes gone, just about to be into time on here at Caterer Oval. A performance you wouldn't want to forget if you were St. Peter's, but one you would if you were Broadview. Wonderful tackle laid. Just got the kick away there was Ben Manning for the Tigers. They get the ball back so easily though, St. Peter's. Old Collegians inside the 50. Was that in the back? Umpire says to mark, taken to Broadview. And this is good ball movement for them, the Tigers. Here is Kobe Wilson, gets the ball to his teammate Caleb Jones. Jones short runs. Josh Costa just took the mark. Thought about the handball on the run from Toby Kay, but didn't want to go there because he knew he couldn't get the handball there and wasn't in the best position for it. Costa short. Oh, it came off the leg, I think, the shin of Kobe Wilson. And they've fumbled it from a ball that was on the wing. It's nearly in their back line. Eventually, Carlin has to try and save the day. And they do make up for the error that could have been really ugly in the end. There's off the ball here. Carlin has just thrown his opponent to the ground. And it's a free kick going the way of St. Peter's Old Collegians. Samuel Higgins will receive it. And when Broadview just looked about to go inside 50, all of a sudden they've made mistakes which they recovered for, and they made another one to turn it over. So costly for them. Beard couldn't make an impact on Charlie Allen, and Allen plays on. He's got a player free in the pocket. I think that might be Fergus Carruthers. Carruthers, I think it is. We'll say it's him for now. We'll get confirmation a bit later on. The opportunity to get it back to 97 points on the scoreboard. Tight angle. And he makes it look easy. That might have been Fergus Carruthers there. Write him down for now. Apologies if it wasn't. It's a bit hard to see from the angle we're on. So thank our broadcast partners, Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, Custom by ORTC, HR5 E-Bikes, Dartfish, Archie's, J Meatworks and Kimberley Resorts. 97 points on the Kieran Haikitsu scoreboard. Here comes St. Peter's again. Bedford's been playing well all day. Gets it to a teammate. Snap inside 50. And the mark has been taken by Nick Michaels. It was a big contested mark. And he held on to it really well. And Nick Michaels to bring up the ton for St. Peter's. They already bring up the ton, but on the scoreboard, I should say, 97 points up at the moment. Could be 103 if he kicks it. It's already their biggest win of the season, but this to make it Broadview's biggest loss so far of the season. And he's got it, and they're up by 103 points. And in the end, it's getting a bit out of hand as they kick yet another goal. In the end, it's getting to 103 points and maybe more. 23 minutes gone in this final term. Just waiting for the positions to be set. As Rucks go at it again. Carlin won it over short road this time. Little 1-2. They don't want to concede their biggest loss of the year for 103 points. So they get it to O'Leary. He's been probably their best player today. He's kicked 4 goals. O'Leary. Chance to kick his 5th. And O'Leary, the skipper, hasn't been a good year for the Tigers, but it's definitely been a good year for O'Leary. Just misses there. O'Leary's he's been the best player 8 times this year. You'd think for Broadview to be his 9th best player, nod, but in the end, it's not been a good day for the Tigers. 102 down on the Kieran Haikitsu scoreboard. And they will keep on going right to the very finals. You'd think St. Peter's, old collisions, have had a great season. Tap down. Handball away. They can keep coming. St. Peter's, Bedford has been one of their best players. That little dribbler goes to Ben Valperio. They keep going. The party tricks keep coming out here at Caterer Oval. And they could kick another one if he takes the mark, and he's grabbed it. And that one is taken by Harvey George. I think he's got 2 goals today. No, he's definitely kicked 1, but this is for his 3rd, I believe. 25 minutes gone. Get the margin to 108 points. And he has kicked a goal is being put off by just about every Broadview player around him. But eventually, in the end, kicks the goal. Harvey George with his third, I believe. And it brings it to 22 goals, 13, 145 to Broadview 5-7, 37, 108 points up. Well, if the siren goes now, it'll be Broadview's biggest loss of the year. The biggest loss before this was 101 points to Salisbury North in round 15. And it's not been a good day at the office for the Tigers and not been a good season. They'll finish the season with 18 straight losses. 0-18, haven't won a game all year. But for St. Peter's, it's a percentage booster and it's about finals time. They'll lock in third spot on the ladder of the BTR Excavations Division 1 final series. They'll be in third spot. I believe if first misses the first week, it'll be a qualifying final between Golden Grove and St. Peter's to start us off in the finals. And they keep kicking goals. Just like that. If you're a Broadview fan or player, you just want the siren to go by this point. Because it's been a demolition job by St. Peter's. 114 points they lead by. And they're definitely not going to make it any easier. And if you're thinking about getting a big win going into the final series to get a bit of momentum, have a look at St. Peter's Old Collegians. Henry Stewart Rattray, I think that was, he kicked that goal. 114 points up. A big win heading into the finals series after that 10-point loss to Sacred Heart last week and a draw before to Salisbury North. And if they didn't draw that game, they might not have been here today. It was the last minute shot, last second shot actually. They might not be in third spot. But what's happened this season has happened in season 2025. St. Peter's will finish the year in third. Broadview will be relegated, I believe, alongside Prince Alfred as well to Division 2. Coming into the finals will be Sacred Heart. And in this competition, anything can happen. Picked up by Nick Michaels, gets it to Bedford, and Bedford has extended himself the best player, potentially. He's kicked 3 now. And it's 120 points on the scoreboard. 24 goals, 13, 157 to 5-7, 37. In this quarter, they've kicked 9 goals, 5. St. Peter's Old Collegians. They've had 37 scoring shots to Broadview's 12. It'll be, I think, if I'm correct, the biggest win in Adelaide Footy League, in the Adelaide Footy League for 2025. And in the last round of the season, they've done it. Wearing their Indigenous Guernsey today, designed by Ty Bedford, number 10, who just kicked his third goal there. And they're not stopping. They want more. It's not over for St. Peter's. They're just toying with them now. They keep progressing. More forward and more forward. Snap around the body. Goes through. Burgers Carruthers with his third. Wow. 126 points up. 10 goal quarter for St. Peter's Old Collegians. 10 goals, 5. Well, it's their highest score of the season. It might be the highest score of the season, actually. We'll get some confirmation of that. 25-13, 163 to 5-7, 37, 126 points. St. Peter's are up by, and we know Broadview have struggled all season, but this has really shown today. Out the middle, Ed Colley. Now they can keep going here. Matt Beard gets the football forward for the Tigers, but only momentarily, as it is this man, Ty Bedford, has a bounce, looks at the goals, kicks towards that direction. Are they going to let it bounce through? They do, but he probably should have kept it in play as he missed. And now it's 127 points. 31 minutes gone in the final term. You think the siren would blow shortly. They're screaming for the football. From Jaden Ryan. Eventually in the back line, it's Jackson Hames to the debutant Blade Trevorrow. And in his debut, will be Broadview's biggest loss. Hart Kelly collects some body contact from Kelly McCarthy, but then gives the ball to PJ Carlin. And just about 32 minutes gone here at Caterer Oval. A 10-goal quarter, 10-6 for St. Peter's Old Collegians. Broadview will go in the record books for a winless season. Siren not too far away, you'd think. The umpire calls the ball up. On the ball, free kick on the way to the Tigers. So with 127 points down, this to either get it to 126 or 121. Biggest win of Division 1, I think, in 2025. Payneham will stay alive. Broadview, it's relegation for them. He kicks it through for a goal. Their final goal of the season, a winless season. But eventually, in the end, it was St. Peter's by 121 points. A demolition job at Caterer Oval. 25 goals, 14, 164 to Broadview. 6 goals, 7, 43. It's a 121-point victory to St. Peter's. They had 39 scoring shots to Broadview's 13. An unbelievable performance for the final game of the season. Thank you to our partners, Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, custom by ORTC, HI5 E-Bike, Startfish, Archie's Jag Meatworks, and Kimberley Resorts. So at the end of the 2025 home and away season, it's Broadview, 0 wins and 18 losses, being relegated into Division 2 next year, as well as Prince Alfred would have 4 wins and 13 losses, who would be relegated to Division 2 as well. So Payneham will survive into the top 5 now. Sacred Heart with that big win over Salisbury North. Sacred Heart in 5th spot, playing, you'd think, elimination final against Ross Trevor Old Collegians there. And then Golden Grove versus St. Peter's will be the first week of finals in the qualifying final. Port District Minor Premiers. So today it was the biggest ever win for St. Peter's in 2025. Broadview's biggest loss this season. St. Peter's highest score. It's just an unbelievable performance by St. Peter's Old Collegians today. Broadview will be thinking, what was in 2025? Didn't get a win, had a few opportunities too, but unfortunately couldn't quite get the win this season at all. Eventually it ends in a 121-point win to St. Peter's Old Collegians. What a performance by Spock. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have time for today on Filming Footy. I've been your commentator, Peter Georgianis. Thank you to the cameraman, Harry, for this Last game of the home and away season. It's St. Peter's, their final result, 25 goals, 14, 164 to Broadview, 6 goals, 7, 45, 121 point winners for St. Peter's Old Collegians. I've been Peter Georginas. Thank you for tuning into Filming Footy. We'll see you live for the finals action next week.